Hey everyone, welcome to Be Light. How is everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well. I'm taking my time today. I'm not trying to jump in and do a lot of stuff, and I'm just taking my time today. So, a couple announcements. Tonight at 7, I will be on my Instagram, which is Priestess Makala 333 if you want to join me over there for the water um bowl ceremony. Um So you can come over there, have your bowl and your shell water, your vessel of water, your bowl and your shell or cup, whichever you prefer to use, have it ready to go so that you can participate and do your water prayers. Um, so that's at 7 o'clock. And I'll put it here. Hmm. And I made the little short on it. And then what happened, I guess because I used the white, it didn't show up very good. I was a little like, oh great, it's not showing up really good. So I had to leave a little imprint underneath, little info. Mm. So I'm drinking my tea this morning, and let's get into it about the dreams, shall we? Um, the dreams were very straightforward last night, and I was like, whoa. So the cards I'll be talking about today will be my Halloween cards and doing another activational card pull. And last night I did this pull and it was right on the money, and it was like, oh my god, this is so on the money. Um, because they're so dimensional. So I want to talk about something, and I'm gonna let you know that in my galacticspiralite.com, that's my web page. Underneath, where you go to the very bottom, I have my YouTube and my WordPress and Instagram symbols there. Go underneath the WordPress symbol. That'll be later on today. After I'm done here, I'm going to write the article of all the things that I can't say here. Okay. But I want to talk about some things that will get you to look at some stuff and to research it. Um, Leo King did a really good full moon disclosure where he did his info, and I like how at the very, very end he made the comment about where all these platforms are going and the AI is going to be governing it. And, they're not going to ban you, but they're going to put an X on certain things, and then you got to do a course or something to show that you have the right to be on the internet. And it's basically, do you have the right to be a broadcaster? This is my interpretation where I'm feeling like the energy is going for that. But because of all the different timelines that we are experiencing, and especially as being the healers that we are and what we do and how we go out and we show up to do our work, the it really, at this point in the game, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't. They think it's going to matter. But really, if you really look at the bigger picture, it really doesn't matter because it's all going to come crumbling down anyway. So it's kind of like this energy that's constantly sending out a a energy of, oh, we're going to have you worry about this. Oh, you're going to not have this. Oh, you're going to feel like this. It's this constant e- e- flickering energy of that. And yesterday it was really interesting because I just got to the place where I was just in my own little world, doing my own thing, being and doing my stuff, and not giving a damn about anything else. I really just did not care. And I was so busy being connected to my ancestors, being connected to mother, being connected to father, son. I was so busy being in that connection. I did not care about third and fourth and even fifth dimensional realm. Okay. Um, I didn't care. I just did not care. And I found myself feeling more centered, more grounded, instead of giving a hoot about what they're doing next. What they're Diane France, I could have sworn that that lady died about 2 or 3 years ago, and it's just now getting caught up in this timeline. And she died. I'm like, I thought she died 2 or 3 years ago. So all the ones that where this energy is moving through is really going to be shifting things. So I'm going to put more of the details in my newsletter for next month. It's going to be dated October. Um, so the dream last night, it was so weird. And it kind of made me feel like I was in the movie The Cell, where everyone's cell phone was doing its weird thing and whatever. And it made the people go kind of crazy and they became these, whatever. So I was, it was the weirdest thing. In the dream, I saw myself, I shut my phone off and I said, I'm not going to let this signal come in. I shut my phone off. I shut everything off that was computerized. I didn't let the signal come in. And as I shut everything off and didn't let it come in, it literally showed how it came through and it was trying to match and cipher with someone and it couldn't do it because whatever I had or whatever wasn't on. And I just watched it go through. And then it showed like this blanket of frequency just went around the earth, hit like that. And then after it did that, it showed like it was kind of weird. It showed like a few days later, all of these different bodies of people were just scattered about and dead, just dropped dead. And I said, oh, interesting. So that kind of reminded me of, God, what was that movie called? Um, they put the signal out. It's Cell, but there was another movie where they put out a signal and it killed people instantly. So I was just looking at that and I was just like, hmm. So then the dream changes and then it goes into a star. And I see the star. And then I see it and it's an eight-pointed star. And it's kind of twirling and it's kind of pulsating a light and it's twirling, pulsating a light. And it's just doing this refracting light. And as it's turning and doing this back and forth, it's creating this sphere of light. And it just, when it finally stops in the center, it goes, choom. And I was like, whoa, it went out in eight directions. Instead of seven directions, it went out eight directions. Because if you look at points, they have to go somewhere, those points. So I thought that was really interesting. And I said, okay. So when I woke up, I made a mental note about it, had it in my head what I saw. And it was really interesting. I was able to keep the memory of it and it wasn't fading away. And I was like, okay, there's definitely been a shift. So I went ahead and got snuggled back into my sleep again and I was just hearing this constant kind of like this energy of just be aware, you're safe, just know this, da 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 da, that kind of energy. So then I'm thinking, okay, so I kind of turn over. It's like a little bit after 7, and I said, oh, let me get up. So I'm laying in the bed, and I look at the wall like I always do. I look at my altar in front of me, and but this time it was different. Normally, I'll see like sparks of light coming through, and I'll see a dragon come through, and I'll see rays of rainbows and lights and stuff come through because I have different crystals that are sitting on my windowsill. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, okay, look at this. This time, this was the eye catcher. I see this pointed, like spear like thing coming down the wall. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And it's pointed, real pointed, like a tip of a spear. And it comes down and it's widening and widening. And then all of a sudden, I see an outline of a door on the wall, literally like a light outline. And I'm like, okay, how is that happening? My blinds are pulled. My bedroom door is closed, but the sunlight is coming in and I can see it. And I'm like, okay, the sunlight's giving me a message. Pay attention to what I'm saying. Sunlight's giving me a message. And so I get up and I walk over to the wall and I put my hand up to the where the sphere is, and I said, "Oh wow, that's okay. That's coming in the corner." But I could not figure out why was there an outline of a door, literally on the wall where the spear was coming down. So I'm thinking, okay, um, let's kind of jump into a little bit of the spear of destiny, a doorway, the spear. Now my bedroom door is closed. So how would that be forming right there on the wall? I'm just saying. I have no clue why that was there, how that was there. I have no clue. Never seen it before. Never done that before. I've seen a lot of things come through on the walls, the rainbow dragons, I've seen a lot of things. Constellations, points. I'm like, oh, but that was like, why was that on the wall? Why was that there? Why did I see the spear and then the outline of a door right there on the wall? It was just a weird thing. And even when I went up and I touched it, it was like it felt different. What came across my mind? I almost felt like I could push my hand through the wall. That's what it felt like. It was that first initial thought, I can push my hand through this wall. So when I was touching it, I almost felt like I was in a moment of divergent, like, this isn't real, tapping on it, doing its thing. So that's how my morning started off with that message. And there is other messages that I will talk about in my newsletter. And I'm inviting you to go over there and read that for yourself so that you will know what I really wanted you to kind of pay attention to. Um, these last 2 weeks have been very testing, have been very frequency driven, um, especially here in California. It's off the chart. And I think the whole thing of what we're all experiencing, especially here in California, is a push to give the the convoluted energy stuff. But here's the thing. I don't care what anybody says. We have a lot of timelines that are still active but are collapsing, but there are a lot of timelines that are still open and are being used as those portal timelines to gauge energy to a more negative instead of towards a more positive. So this is why the standing ones, the trees are really anchored in and they're really pushing their light through no matter what. This is why the water's been recalibrated. Water is being taken from one place, recalibrated and cleansed, and showing up other places. Um, there's just so much different dimensional things happening on Mother Earth. So if you figure like this, you look at yourself, okay, figure like this. You look at yourself and kind of think about what are you going through in your life right now? What are you experiencing? What are you emotionally feeling? And then take that and know that this is what mother is feeling. This is what she is experiencing. Now, we've been in all this hoopla about ascension, our rising, keeping our frequency up. And then you have energies that are trying to keep your frequency down. So we're constantly going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's this battle. But if you really look at the standing ones, the trees, they stay anchored and they still hold that light so strongly. They keep it going no matter what, as far as they can take it, as far as they hold it all the way up. That's where we need to be. And one of the things I'm noticing, even when I'm working with my crystals, wearing my crystals and using that, that helps to insinuate our light body self. It kind of like it gives you that extra little push, that umph. So there's a lot going on. The message that I will be putting in the newsletter, you're definitely going to want to read it. Um, because I can't talk about it here on YouTube. Um, but I definitely got the push more to really activate my Patreon page because that's where it's going to be. And when you really look at going on to Patreon and having communities on your Patreon page, that's where you're going to want to be. The other message is, like I said, we have all these different timelines. A lot of timelines, the older ones are collapsing, but the ones that are used to manipulate us to stay more on the negative side, those are still pulling. Okay, they're still pulling us. So if you really look at how the energy is flowing, what it's doing, you can actually see how your energy needs to be right in the center of yourself, not getting caught up in getting pulled to that energy and really have to caretake and take care of yourself more so because of the high frequencies. Now, here's the deal. Hi, darling. Um, Here's the deal. And I want you to know this. This is the trick. So, you got this energy that comes in and is pushing you onto a more lower frequency energy that's trying to keep you there. And it's kind of causing this kind of like distraction. We'll put it that way, a distraction to keep you, to kind of throw you off track. All right, throw you off track. So, one of the things I've been noticing when you're getting thrown off track, that's more the app to really get centered more, to really breathe into yourself, to really state your divine sovereign connection. That's more the connection to really be true to yourself and to take those times when you need to be taking those times and to be resting. Um, it's not so much trying to push forward all the time because I got that huge lesson this week. I want to keep going. I want to keep going. I want to keep going, but I can't do that if I'm integrating a large amount of codes. And sometimes our codes that we're receiving will lay your butt out so that you can integrate them. Because there's a lot to integrate through your spine, through your spinal fluid. There's a lot to integrate through your whole cellular DNA of yourself and through the mitochondria that is now going through this whole rebooting of all your cellular makeup of yourself. So, the ATP energy of the cells itself, when it's being recalibrated to to help you accentuate access to your higher realms of self. Okay, if that makes any sense to. I'm trying to explain it on a molecule level. When I see the levels of the molecules, how fast we're really moving in our energy and moving into our crystalline cell. So one of the things I want everyone to really just pay attention to is where your energy is going, what you're feeling called to do, who is in your space around you. Are they supportive? Are they negative? Okay. This is not the time to be hanging on to scallywags. Okay. This is not the time. And I know a lot of people have been going through loss and everything, but this is not the time to be holding on to scallywags. Um, Sometimes you have to release relationships just to see when you come down further down the way if that's a relationship that needs to be going. Because if you're finding yourself every time you're with certain people and it becomes a draining situation, you're not going to want to be in that. Okay. These next couple of months, it's like game on. And because I'm a Capricorn rebel and I fight with that warrior goddess energy inside of me, I don't make it easy for anything to come and try to take me down. I don't make it easy. I don't. It would be easy to just give up and say, don't want to do this. Because that's that energy that makes us all feel like that, being the holders of our divine light. And here's the message of this. When we're being the holders of our divine light, the whole purpose is to knock you off. What's your weak point? How can we get in? That's a Maboya, those negative beings. The Maboya gets into that little crack What's your weakness? Is it addiction? Is it not taking care of yourself? Is it um, getting into situations where you don't take care of yourself? It's always what's the crack? What is that crack to get into fester and make everything kind of go away? So these timelines are no joke right now. And like I said, pay attention in the morning when for me to have a spear, a tip of a spear, like a sword, coming straight down the wall, widening out, and then a door, outline of a door on the wall. And I'm like, is this my door? So this full moon, like I said, this is I'm not even feeling a full connection with this moon, you know. And Leo said it better because there's still 5 planets still retrograde, and I'm not really feeling it. I'm feeling more of the eclipse energy that's coming in. That's going to be a game changer. But one thing I know for a fact, this energy of everybody talking about October 4th and all this stuff, yeah, they're going to do a test. You don't have to participate in it. You can turn your stuff off. You don't have to receive that frequency. I'm not planning to receive that. I'm not planning to align with that on that timeline. Always got to stay ahead of the game. Why are they doing that? Why on that day? Okay. One of the things I know for a fact that the world that we are doing our work on, our platforms, all these social places, those are not going to exist on the new energy that's coming in to take its place. So they can go ahead and throw all this stuff out to you and tell you, oh, you're gonna have to participate, you're gonna have to be like this, and da 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 da, you're gonna have to do it this way, and da da. They can say all they want. But the bottom line is the divine rules. And the divine will have the final say. And when I say the divine, I'm saying our divine mother, father, cosmic being has the final say, the benevolent light one, not the one that runs around and tells you the artificial God, that's the angry, jealous God, not that false one that we've been under two Sinai's with, not that. No, the one true one mhm, that we come from, that we're created out of. So I just wanted to share that so that you would have the knowledge of that. Um, I'm still going to keep the Signal group up and keep that going. And then Patreon um, will be definitely started because, and it's going to be affordable. I'm not doing it to just be doing it. I'm doing it because there is, I'm one of those those divine beings who came here to help others claim their light. I only give you what the messages are and help you to activate yourself. And I am just that person that just helps people just to get that activation. To wake up. Wake the hell up. It's time. What you waiting for? So one of the things I wanted to also share today, I said this is going to be one of those chit chat things. Your bed, one of the things on my webpage, I talk about the geo bed. I designed the geo beds. Now, the geo beds can be with symbols, it can be with crystals, however you want to do that, your call. But one of the things everybody needs to do is design your bed in a place of color, frequency, and vibration. Okay. Your bed, how your bed needs to be. Underneath your bed, your bed is sanctuary. And the reason why I know one thing about my bed is it's programmed right is because Kitty, when she needs to get some extra energy, she gets on this bed. She lays right where I have all the selenite at the foot of the bed and all of the quartz crystals on the edge of the bed. Okay. So this whole bed is lined. Got here, my mattress, everything is lined. I have protective symbols all over this bed. Yeah. So it's all about programming your bed space so that when you're in your bed, it becomes your own personal med bed. It becomes your charger, especially if you are in human design, a manifester generator manifester. Um, we are the ones that always have to regenerate ourselves when we're sleeping. And then we're able to go out and produce and do what we need to do and take action. So your bed needs to be that way. The way you know you have a good activated bed is when your pets come in and they have to get on it. That's how you know. Because she will not go a day without getting on my bed. She has to get on it. And then she gets her little energy and she starts to feel better and she goes on about her day and jumping up on a laundry washer machine. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing up there? And she looks at me. "Hmm." I'm like, get down. So start to really look at your bed. Start to look at the type of sheets you put on your beds, the cotton, the bamboo, all of those have spiritual aspects and have a high vibration. Look at that. Start really thinking about okay, when I sleep in my bed, I want to have this type of fabric, this kind of sheets I'm sleeping on. Um, and then when I activate it, I want to have a symbol that is purely my symbol I designed for my bed so that I can activate it. And only I know how to turn it on. Okay. You want your bed to be that. Your bed is sacred to you. Okay. Your bottom of your bed, all the way on the four posts, always need to be shielded. If you're not using brown, if you're not using your smoky quartz or black tourmaline, and then using outline quartz around the base of your bed. You have to do that now because the way these timelines and how we're moving interdimensional, this is part of the problem. When you wake up in the morning, you're trying to figure out where the hell are you because we're moving at nighttime in between. I can't believe this is the freaking weekend. Again, didn't we just have a weekend? It's that fast now. We have stepped into an accelerated of spiral light type of energy where we're really accelerating. I have a lot of work to do. I'm not in a high vibration living soul. Home, barn, thank you for all of this. Da, 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 da. I'm confused. I'm gonna say something, and I'm saying this with love. All of us are gonna be going through review. Okay, you can choose to be on a timeline where you're going to be looping back through the patterns. And if you consciously do not take yourself out of it and consciously make that conscious decision that you're shifting, you keep looping in it. Okay. You're going to keep looping until you make the decision to make a tweak in the habit, to throw it all off. That's what it's going to take. And the more we get connected to our higher self and really stay in that and own it and walk it and be it, the stronger you become. Now, here's the problem with this. Because of the ancient technology that the xenomorphs are using, sending out this lower vibration, that lower vibration is targeting people who are sending up in their higher frequency. Okay, as soon as you start going up in it, it feels it. It's kind of like the Cenobites in the Matrix, how they're coming through, they're swarming through, and they're trying to find where they're hiding in the system, and they're looking, they're searching, they're looking. Okay, that's what this technology thing is doing. Okay, it's looking for who's shining really bright, so it can go up and boom. Now, pay attention to what I'm saying. A lot of your older guru teachers back in the day that were very well known, like Chopra, I've been watching him. He's getting ready to exit this planet. He's getting ready to leave. But before he leaves, he is now speaking his truth on things. He is saying exactly what he wants to say, and he is not holding back. He's speaking his truth. Besides being and going along with the narrative of how you have to do that in order to get your book sales out there, or you can't rock the boat. And being that he's a doctor, he's talked about this. He can't say what he really wants to say because he would get shunned, for speaking up his truth. A lot of our older elder light beings are leaving. Okay. He's not going to be around much longer. I can look at him and tell. I hear his message. He's getting ready to leave. But before he leaves, he's leaving info before he transcends into his next evolution of himself. Okay? So mark my words, what I just said out here. It's going to be fast too. Okay? So I know he's leaving, and then that's a marker of how high the frequency is getting. Okay? Number one thing, you're keeping your frequency up and staying ahead of the game. And we're all going to be tested. We're already going through our test. Are you going to slip backwards and keep going backwards? Or are you going to step forward and really claim yourself? Are you going to keep looping through the same timeline? And you can catch the timeline loops. You can catch them and you can say, oh, wait, I've already went through this. Oh, wait, I've already had this experience. Done. I'm not, I'm not, I'm not aligning with this anymore. I'm not as I'm not consenting to this timeline energy anymore. This is complete. Done. Think of yourself as if you ever saw that movie called Immortals. Immortals with Henry Clave. Clave the Superman guy, the sexy looking one. The Immortal movie really had that depiction of when they are immortal beings, how they came down on the earth plane and they were trying to be in their human form, and some of the challenges that they were going through as their god selves. So if you really look at yourself as this highly soul divine light being that you are right now, just claim that. And then anything outside of it that is not divine is not aligned with you. And you claim it as such. Because this is where you start anchoring in to that timeline and putting your anchor in. Okay? You anchor in. You're going to anchor in to the true organic timeline of Mother Earth, of her ascension, of what she's doing. Okay. She's only going to take those with her that will claim themselves and be with her. All the others that are inorganic, that are not true in their divinity of themselves, that have caused harm, that have done anything, your time's up. You're gone. There's no more. No. I don't care if you're going down in the ground to hide in your bunkers. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Nothing's going to go past that, because then if you go down in the ground, you're right where she would want you to be, with that energy. So just think about that as we're shifting and and moving through. What's coming up for you? What's the energy like? What are you thinking of? Definitely going through a review. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot going on. So tonight is the night that I will be on Instagram at 7 p.m. Western time, California time, um, doing the water bowl ceremony. So you just have to make sure you have a bowl that you're going to use only for your prayer water. And then after we do the ceremony, you walk out to wherever you are and pour that on Mother Earth. Okay. So the activation for this today, wow, I've gone on and went talking. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm gonna be talking about. But I will write out the newsletter, and then you can go and read it later on today. Okay. Oh shit. Okay, so the activation message today, number 43. Are you ready? Transition. The frequency of transition supports our deep understanding of the ever changing nature of existence and our lives, so that we can learn to let go, surrender to the process, and allow transition to occur with ease and grace. Crazy. But look at the symbol. Look at that. That's crazy. And that's a number 43. And that's at 7 energy. Okay. That's crazy. So then the Halloween card that matches that is, I want to say bric-a-brac, brumper-brac, sweetness and synergy. Yeah, sweetness and synergy. This is about the bread. This bread that's made with cherries and nuts, and it's not like a cake and it's not like a bread, it's right in between. And it's a bread that's made for like your good lucks and wishes and things that you're bringing in for yourself, that you want to bring in for yourself. So out of the transition one, when we go through transition, and then Halloween. I love the Halloween cards. Okay. Oh, here we go. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shut up. Okay, I was just talking about that 8-pointed star, right? Okay. This card is called Belief and the 11. And it says the frequency of belief supports our sense of self worth based on our gifts and talents and a strong connection to source. Are you ready? 8-pointed star. Can't make this stuff up, people. Damn. Risk and reward. Here we go. There's the apple. Having your knowledge, the risk and reward. That's the apple. Okay, and now I will do that's crazy. Transition and belief. So we got the 11. There's the doorway. And I'm bringing in the cards of, I love these cards. The one I got last night was right on the money, and it was this one. And it says, restful renewal. And it was all about resting. And I was like, oh, God, so on point. Okay, so our final card message for this full moon is, oh, the chalice, priestess of activation, number 63. Look at that, the chalice. Mm, 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 mm. Shall we dive into it to see what it really means? Let's dive in. Priestess of activations, anchoring in the light. Get the job done swiftly so you can have more time and space for softness. Both efficiency and receptivity are essential, and sometimes boundaries are necessary to keep the balance. I don't read the whole thing because it's a lot to read. Um, but this is all about the grounding chalice surrounds the holds and protect space, sacred feminine energy, the glittering and the light, the balance of the gifts, the chalice is the light and the purpose. So, where is your chalice? This is a beautiful thing that's perfect for alignment of what we're going to be doing tonight with the bowl of water and putting your prayers into the water and then giving it to the earth. Um, this is really good. The chalice priestess of activations. I love it. So that is what the deal is for this moment. Everyone, be good to yourself. I just wanted to come on and share with you what that dream was that I had. If you came in a little late, you're going to have to go back and listen to the first part about the dream and know that the belief and transition is still in flow with us. We're going to be transitioning through a lot of things, but it's how you show up and how you align in the transition of that. Um, how do you allow the transition energy to affect you? And we're going to work our butts off. It takes a lot of work to stay in who you are, to do what you are called to do, and how is it going to throw you from your purpose? So, I watched this movie last night, and I want to wrap up with this. It was on Pluto, and it's called Most Beautiful Island. Most Beautiful Island. Still, I don't know where the island was. Um, but the message of it was in the movie, if you pay attention in the beginning part of it, when it's starting, this young lady is going through scarcity, she's going through lack, She's trying to get money together. She's she's gone through some horrendous things. And for whatever reason, she's not in her hometown. She left there and she's trying to get herself started somewhere else. But she's got all these different odd end type of jobs, trying to make a living and trying to pay her rent. This is where it's coming out. She's trying to pay her rent. But when she goes into the bedroom after she gets home, her roommate leaves signs all over the place in the refrigerator, not yours, not yours, not yours, not yours, all over the food thing. And then on the door, she has a sign that says, "Your rent is due. I don't want to have to ask again." So she goes to the bedroom. And if you're into oracles, if you're into Toro, you literally will see how they had the Two of Swords on the wall. So she's Two of Swords. She's feeling like she's trapped. And I'm like, wow, look how they just put that right in the movie. And people who are not into that, you would never see that. You wouldn't recognize it. But I saw it right off the bat. I said, oh, look at the message. So you take that, and what does the Two of Swords really mean? What is she going through? And then you watch her get pulled in to a timeline that she went into not paying attention to. Okay. She fell for a trickery of someone that made up a convoluted lie. And she falls for it because she's just thinking about the money. Okay. It was a good movie. It had a real good underlining message. And then she takes this and she goes into a timeline of darkness to go get this money. Okay. But she's not realizing what she's got to do in order to get this money. All right. So here she is in this space with a whole bunch of other women, just a small group, where everyone's dressed the same, black dress, black purse. They are given a purse to hold. And lo and behold, when it's her time to go in and to be a part of the elitists kind of sitting around betting on these girls on what they're doing, she finds out what she's carrying in the purse. And I was just like, the most beautiful island is what you want to look for. It's on Pluto. It's free. You can watch that. But yeah, it was a little like, whoa. Yeah. That movie, this movie is right on point about when we live in scarcity and lack and where you find yourself almost doing whatever you need to do to get your money, but are you really willing to do this? And there was just craziness. I was just like, whoa. And it's that kind of energy that makes you sit there and then at the end of it, it's like, wow, I wonder if she'll rethink her life and make a different change. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. I got to write the newsletter up, and I bid all of you a wonderful day. I just came on the chat. I didn't feel like doing a short thing because evidently my little short ones that I do on here are not being seen. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine, whatever. All about my business. Just the way it is. But when Odin comes in, that can be a different story. Yeah, things go online a different way. All right, anybody, everybody, all the busybodies, all light bodies, be good to yourselves. Be so light. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Pay attention to yourself. All right.